Welcome to week 5 of the road trip home group curriculum. Throughout the first 4 weeks, we have worked together through the first 2 C's of Daybreak's vision. We talked about stories to start out with, and what each of us could share our story about discovering and developing a life changing journey with Jesus. We looked at celebrating God's grace personally through helpful daily and weekly rhythms of connecting with Him. We also looked at connecting with God's family and what biblical community looks like, as well as learning how to express feelings both of fullness and of emptiness to God in the context of community. This week we are moving on to the third C of our vision, which is contributing to God's work. And we'll start by looking at what it means to serve like Jesus, about how he calls us both to serve in humility to meet the needs at hand, and also how he calls us to serve in ways where our unique gifting and passion and style can all come together to make a long-term difference. After this meeting, there are 2 more group meetings for the road trip campaign left. Next week, we're going to look at what it means to be missional, extending our serve outside of the walls of the church and into our community and our world. And then in our last group meeting together, we're going to visit the topic of generosity and learn how God's word highly values that virtue. So that's where we are now. For this meeting, in preparation for this meeting, you should have taken the time to fill out the ministry passion inventory to the best of your ability. If most of you did that, you'll be able to dive right into the content of your group for this meeting. But if there are several of you who didn't get a chance to fill out the inventory yet, your group leader is going to need to give you about 15 to 20 minutes to at least try to make some good progress on that, as you're going to need that today for discussion, while the rest of your group then moves on ahead and answers just the first 2 questions that your leader has to ask to introduce the topic for today. So group leaders, ask your members if they've filled that out, and if they haven't, then make the call that you need to make. Well, as you discuss that passion inventory later in your group time, I want to invite you to encourage your fellow group members who might be struggling to figure out what their passion is. Passion can really be a tricky thing at times, and often it's those who love us speaking truth into our lives that helps us to hone in and to get a little bit clearer of a picture as to exactly what our passion is. So speak truth and speak life into your fellow group members as you discuss passion today. I also pray that God will challenge you as you look into the passage where Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. Ask God to illuminate his word to you in a new way and to help you really learn what it looks like to serve like Jesus, humbly meeting a need in love. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to sign up for one of the workshops coming up at the end of the series. You can do that at roadtrip.daybreakweb.com. And while you're there, you can get started on your homework for next week, which are 2 more inventories. One is the spiritual gifts inventory, and the other is the personal style inventory. And these will be a little bit easier for you to fill out than the passion one was. So I think you'll have fun with them as you fill them out. Your group leader will remind you about that homework at the end of your meeting time today. Well, enjoy your time together and love each other well. Until next week.